My name is Nike Adekunle, and you're welcome to Relationship Talk with Nike. As usual, we have this every Saturday morning, and I'm always pleased to bring this to you. And if you are joining us for the first time, this is where we get to talk about our relationship on a deep, intimate level, where we get to understand why our partner does what they do, and just get to understand people at an intimate level. I used to say that most of us, we get to look at relationship from the cause and effects point of view, and the reward and consequences point of view. That if you do certain things, these are the reward that you get for it, and if you don't do certain things, this is the punishment that comes with it. You I have in my own journey, even in my own personal life, I have discovered that sometimes you set out to do something good, you know the consequence of whatever it is that you're doing, but irrespective, you still get to make wrong choices when you are being overwhelmed by your emotions. And I just think that if we all discover that we do the things that we don't want to do, and sometimes we understand the consequences of something, and yet we go ahead to do that thing, then something else must be responsible. And what are these things that are responsible? Those are the things that we get to talk about on this platform, where we get to educate ourselves on the internal workings of our partner and why they act the way they do, and probably get to understand them at a more intimate level, so that we all understand the whys behind the action that we see. And if that is what you're interested in, you are in the right place. You're welcome once again. And for the past few weeks, we've been talking about conflict, which is really one of my my own strength, the areas that I'm trained to talk about. And I know that one of the reasons why we get frustrated in our relationships is because of the fact that we get to have conflicts that we don't know how to resolve, or we have tried to resolve a conflicting situation, but it has become recurrent, and somehow we get stuck in that place, and we begin to need help. And that is one of the reasons why we're doing this, to help you to discover your stuck areas and seek help for that area. And we've been talking about conflicts in the past few weeks, and we've talked about different aspects of conflicts and how to get unstuck in that area. But this morning, I want us to talk about misinterpretation of intentions. Misinterpretation of intentions. Why is it that I want to do good? Why is it that I'm trying to help my partner? I'm trying to help my loved ones to do better, to improve, and generally they misinterpret my intentions, and sometimes my intentions are being seen as even harmful, and that is not what I set out to do at the beginning. But I'm in that place where I get misinterpreted a lot. So what is responsible for this? And it can be very painful if you set out to do good and your good is interpreted as bad. Tena, thanks for joining this morning. Thank you for being here. So, and so how do I help myself? How do I stop that pain of always getting misinterpreted? How do I stop that pain? And this morning, that is what I want us to talk about. Why is it that when my intentions get misinterpreted, there is a conflict situation, and how can I better manage it? And if you have been in a relationship long enough, if you have been in any kind of relationship long enough, you know that misinterpretation of intentions might be inevitable. It might be inevitable. We get to that place. If you have been in any kind of relationship, especially with a a romantic partner, you know that sometimes, especially for wives, you get to clean up your husband's closet, and while you are at it, you are happy that, oh, the place is becoming cleaner and neater and all of that. And when they come, is for them, it is, oh, why did you move my things around? I'm looking for this thing, I'm looking for that thing. And for you, it's like, wow, would you have preferred the way that place was filthy? Would you have preferred the way that place was dirty compared to what I have made of it now? Why are you making this little pain that you're looking for? Why are you making it the big deal, despite all the effort that I've put into, helping you clean your space? Sometimes for it might be about buying a gift for someone. I bought you a gift, I took my time, I took my money and my sweat and my legwork to go and buy you a gift, and I'm coming back and the only thing you can see is, oh, you didn't get the color right. Can't you see that I have better needs than this thing that you just gotten me? And sometimes it can be very, very, sometimes it can be depressing. That's why is it the color that matters this much now? Why is it that you feel like my picking the wrong choice of gifts is more important, Daddy, than the thing that I got you? Why? And sometimes some people take it to the point that it even feels like, why did you waste money? With all the needs that we have, why did you waste money? And you're like, waste money? Is this how you're interpreting this good intention that I have for you? Sometimes, one of the things that I have personally seen when I'm counseling with people is a wife or a spouse generally trying to make the life of their partner better. And sometimes it comes in the form of, pushing them to achieve more with their life, with their career. You can do this. Why not get this form? If you enroll for this course, you will become a better person. Right now, the in thing in IT is that you get this certification, and you're trying to push them in that direction. And they're feeling like, what? Believe me, you are becoming too pushy. Why is it that, these things, your intentions get misinterpreted? Sometimes, especially for couples that have been in marriage for a while, if you have teenage children, you understand this, that you just go out, you buy very beautiful gifts for them, and they're like, Mom, you should have told me. You should have told me. I don't like it. Or they never get, if you have somebody, if you have people like my people, they will never get to wear that thing. Just, oh, thank you. They collect it from you and keep it somewhere, and they never get around to wearing it. And you're wondering why. I go out, I saw a good thing, I got it for you. Is this your response to all the good things or the good thing that I have done for you? And for both parties, it hurts. And for you that you are the giver, you feel like, why is the other party hurt? Well, they are hurt to the extent that, well, you didn't ask me, you didn't, I'm not a part of this decision. And that you are giving it as well, you feel rejected. And if there's any number one fear of every human being, is the fear of rejection. And you feel rejected, you feel bad that, wow, my good intentions, see the way it is being rubbed off in my face. And for both parties, it hurts. And the intention is not to make your relationship suffer. Whatever it is that we want our relationships to be better. And trust me, on both sides, we are looking for understanding, even though it feels like the person that got the gift is the better person. If you look at it from the outside, it looks like at least this person is better because this person is actively trying to please this person, and this person that is unpleased is just rejecting the other person. That is how it looks from the outside, but trust me, it is a lot deeper than that. It is a lot deeper than that. It is deeper than just somebody rejecting someone. And if we want to overcome this phase of our relationship, we need to see it beyond that. I am doing good and my good is being termed as evil, or that why am I being hated? Sometimes it gets that far. It gets that far where after a while people just label you. Why is it that you never hear that I don't like this thing? And say, for instance, you're a giver and you always want to give and give, and it gets to a point where people begin to label you as something bad, and you're wondering, what is this thing about that I go out, I get things for you, and that is what makes me a bad person? You know, if we will grow out of our stuck places, we need to see beyond what is happening in the peripheral. We need to go beyond that, go inward to find out what exactly is going wrong. Why are we not getting this thing right? And if you truly desire a happy relationship, you will know that whatever the input is, if you are not getting the output that you desire, something is definitely still wrong with that equation. And if we are not going to make it about our pride, let us find out what exactly is going on in the mind of the other person. Why are we still having conflict? Instead of just being in that place where you are just sulking that, oh, why is my good being termed as evil? Why am I being hated for the good I'm doing? Why is it that when I am proactive about your need, I'm being proactive about your need, I am thinking ahead of time that, okay, you may need this, you may need this, you may need this in the future, and somehow I'm there to cater for these things before the need even arises? Why is it not seen as what I am actually doing, that I am being proactive here? Why is it being greeted with something different from what I anticipated? Why is my problem solving skill, why is it not being appreciated the way I expect it to be appreciated? Most people that are very proactive in relationship, they expect to be applauded for it, they expect to be appreciated for it, they expect to be celebrated for it, but most times it is being met with something different from that. And if we look at it from that premise alone, we'll feel like the person that is on the other side of the relationship is being ungrateful. They can't see the good that you are trying to do, but it is beyond that. And I want to introduce us to a concept that we'll get to talk about from next week. We'll get to talk about this concept from next week, because like I said, I don't want these videos to be too long anymore. People say that, yeah, they enjoy it, but data is expensive in this side of the divide. So we make it short, we make it brief. Whatever it is that I want to say, we try to compress it into that time. But because I am trying to open our eyes to something very crucial in relationship, like I said, most people get into the counseling room because they are at this phase where they get stuck, where one person feels like I'm the martyr here, and I'm being persecuted by my spouse, my children, my love, and all the loved ones around me. And why do we have that equation? Why do we have that situation? Why do we experience such pain within our relationship? We need to be able to find out why these things are happening and what we can do on both sides to ensure that we have peace and we have the desired result, which is intimacy in our relationship. But to start with this week, trust me, if you are not afraid to be wrong, if you are not afraid to write whatever it is that is not going, like I said, whatever the output, whatever the input is, if the output is not what you desire, then something is definitely wrong with the input. Know that if there's something that I'm experiencing in my relationship that is not what I desire to experience, then something is definitely wrong with how I am doing it. And so if we're going to be humble enough to learn, then we'll be able to overcome this phase in our relationship where things always get messy because of our proactivity in other people's lives. And let me just introduce you to the concept. I'm going to introduce you to the concept of control and dominance, and you understand why these things are difficult for other people to ingest, for other people to accept. We are going to be talking about the concept of control and dominance in relationship, and also trust me on this. Usually, when relationships are not going the way you expect them to go, it is because there's an exaggerated sense of self in the equation. And most of us, we don't get to see when we exaggerate our need in our presence, our usefulness in other people's lives. We don't get to see it until they begin to rebuff us. And so from next week, we're going to be talking about the concept of dominance and control in relationship, and how does this thing pan out. We're going to be talking about the concept of manipulation. We're going to be talking about all these things, and I want you to invite as many people as possible so that you would not be in that place where you get rejected, where your love is being thrown back in your face. It feels like your love is being thrown back in your face, but there are things that we ought to do. There are things we ought to do. That is what we are going to be doing from next week. And until I come your way again, my name is Nikki Adekunle, and trust me, we are going to be having a swell time. Please love this video. If you really love it, like it, share it, and help us tell a friend to tell a friend to